Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show with Mike. T-Roy's here. What up, T?
Hey, buddy.
How are you?
That's fucking Monday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Easus is here. What up, Easus?
Hello.
How are you, pal?
I'm great. Kinda. Whatever.
I wish I could stay the same.
I know.
You know, it's
We had a pretty good up-down thing going. Now it's just down.
it's just down.
Just down.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll tell you a story of what I've gone through, and it's going to make me look cool, obviously, to the young people. But it was the middle of the night, I don't know, a week ago, and I got up to take a whiz, as I often do, and I was wearing my sleep apnea mask like a rock star.
Of course.
And it's got this heavy fucking battery that plugs into the thing, and it's got this long tube that goes from the shit. So if you roll over, you can stay plugged in. And I fucking got up in the middle of the night and got my feet tangled in this goddamn thing and went down hard.
Like a sack of shit.
Like a sack of shit. On my knee, my wrist, my chest hit something. I don't know, the corner of the bed, whatever. And the next morning I woke up, I'm like, God, my wrist is fucking sore. God, my knee's fucking swollen. And my chest hurts. But it was bearable because my back pain was so bad that my chest wasn't.
One of them was covering up for the other.
Yeah.
That must mean your back's feeling a little better.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, sometimes it's like nice. Like when you have a really bad pain somewhere else, you just fucking hurt yourself, another place, and then that thing goes away.
So right now,
So your back is obviously fine.
my back is not fine at all. My back hurts like hell. But my chest, to breathe, to laugh, to cough, to talk, to move,
Well, I'm going to be trying. I'll be less funny today.
thank
for
you.
Yeah, I'll make an attempt.
is just shooting pain. And so before the show, I was looking up like, like,
Oh, did you go to WebMD?
no.
Oh, I was gonna
I
say
just
you're
Googled.
dying.
Googling things is a
Well,
very dangerous. I know what way you were trying to do it, but it can be
they'd
very
said,
dangerous.
like emergency, go to the hospital immediately, like I would have, gone to urgent care or something. But it sounds like heart attack issues would be in would be a chest pain
And your arm.
your shoulder, your neck. You would feel all that, and I don't have any of that at all. I just have the chest pain. It's tender to the touch, and they're like most likely a muscle strain of some sort, which would make sense. I've been like dealing with it a little bit for a week, but today is just like next level, and so I don't know, man. I'm gonna try and get through a fucking show today, but it's hard to just sit here and look at you right now, and I don't want you to make me laugh at all.
I promise I won't. No matter what.
Oh fuck yeah! So that's what
All
I'm
right.
that's what I'm dealing with.
So, happy Monday.
Happy Monday, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't know how you
It's
do
going to be a
it.
good start to the week.
Oh man, how was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah. I worked.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nugent.
Yeah. I got to watch most of the show. It was pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is he good?
He actually was.
I literally don't know. I know like one song. I
Well,
think.
you know what's funny
No,
is that's
you
what I
know
thought. That's what I thought. I was like, okay, Fred Bear, Stranglehold. And to me,
Scratch
actually, I think
Fever.
Stranglehold is a great fucking song to me. I mean, that's one that's just always not a Nugent fan, just song.
Yeah.
Just song structure, everything. So to see that live was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's Wang Dang Sweet Poontang.
Yeah.
Fuck, didn't even know about that. Cat Scratch Fever.
That's the only one I could
Nah, you know what? I mean, every time you
You'd know
kept pulling
more.
another one, you were like, fuck, I know this one too.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a lot.
He's
got a lot.
because I don't know. Like I just know him more for being
Political?
political, and I just always feel like I would. I don't know. I feel like I don't. Like I can't. I don't know if he's actually good or not. To be honest with
No,
you.
he was. He actually put on a really good show. It was pretty cool. He opened up with did the Star Spangled Banner, played it on guitar, which was pretty cool. I was joking that I went to a Trump rally and a Ted Nugent concert broke out. That's what it
Yeah,
felt
what was
like.
the crowd like there?
A Trump rally.
Yeah.
I mean, there was plenty of stars and stripes and
Yeah.
camo.
Any
What
Confederate
about
flags
stars and bars?
Yeah. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
No.
No?
Stars
I always
and
thought-
bars is not the same as stars and
I
stripes.
usually assume when people say stars and bars, it means the Confederate flag. But maybe
Maybe. I don't know.
That's-
I did not see any official Confederate flags.
interesting.
I was actually playing a little game with I was going to count the MAGA hats.
Oh, were there a lot of them?
Well, I thought there was, but then I realized that Deadly Tedley sells a red and white hat that says
looks-
something
yeah.
says something on it that looks like that
Make
hat.
rock
I was
awesome
like,
again or something. or-
basically. And then I was like, oh, all right, well that doesn't count because they're all fucking Nuge hats. But
Yeah.
it's
Hey,
you roll the dice on when you're working. You don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, you're there for free, and you're there.
I did RuPaul. I did,
what was better crowd watching, RuPaul or Nugent?
Well, crowd watching was RuPaul. As far as just straight crowd watching.
Right.
Like, this was just a bunch of fucking, I mean, this looked like, when they pull the mug shots up for like the pedo ring they fucking shut down.
Yeah.
That's what this looked like. Just a bunch of beards and sunglasses and
Yeah.
hats. But I mean, very nice, very cool. It
Any
was packed.
chants
I was
break out?
surprised. Yeah, there was a fuck Joe Biden, in between like the encore thing.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. There was a big old FJB banner like right up in front.
Yeah. Sounds like the place for it.
Yeah, I was surprised. I did not expect it to be as crowded as it was. It was packed.
Yeah.
It was packed.
And it holds more people than you think, too.
Yeah.
What did we find out? Like 7,500 or something?
Yeah, something like that. It was like 5,000 the seats and another like 2,500 in the lawn or something.
Yeah.
That's a small lawn, too. I was surprised.
What is it again?
That's it's technically the Michigan Lottery Amphitheater at Freedom Hill. But
okay.
Yeah.
Freedom
it's
Hill.
like Freedom Hill, just like Pine Knob.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. We also, the hell was that?
Did we just get shot?
Seriously, shots fired. That sounded like. Do you want me to go?
Someone want to go investigate that? Yeah.
Just to see what that was?
That it was either Cece getting into something or maybe bring her down here, T.
I mean, that was allowed.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
I'm in so much fucking pain, Isis. I'm
sorry.
Oh, my God, dude.
Huh? Shut it down. We gotta go.
What happened?
I don't know. She fucking knocked something over.
Dude, for real, I would have. How it's going, I could have seen it be a serious situation.
House is on fire. Gotta go.
Yeah. Well, with this day, yeah.
She knocked something over up there. Whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Doing my best, T.
I know it.
My
Hey.
best isn't good enough today. I'm sorry.
I'll lay down some cover for you.
Thank you, pal.
Here, guys. The wait is over. You can now custom order your brand new 2023 Ford F-150 from our friends at Zott Ford and Holly. Be the first in your crew to get the all-new F-150 because the sooner you order it, the sooner you can get it and show it off. Also, for a limited time, when you custom order your new F-150 from Zott Ford, they're going to give you $500 in free accessories. Plus, starting today, Zott Ford can custom order your new 23 Bronco Sport, Ranger, Explorer, or Mach-E. And just in case you need a little more good news, when you custom order from Gabara, he's going to lock in 2.9% APR and give you an extra $500 for a purchase or $1,000 on a lease. So get details and surf their sexy inventory at dealsinthed.com and tell them TDC sent you.
We got a new read from him, by the way.
Oh,
We'll start tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, he
Okay.
just texted me and said, "Hey,
Okie
check your
dokie.
email." So,
All right. Well, we'll start in a couple of days. I'll proofread that thing.
I will say, when you get to looking up those things, I mean, I was kind of half kidding, like, oh, dude, don't Google shit. But for real, when you get to start looking things up, it can be a very bad rabbit hole very fast.
course.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You have every symptom of everything out there.
And not just that, but to me, then you'll find yourself, like, what I'll do, I noticed, last year I went through some shit a little bit, and it's like, what I'll find myself is, like, even if you don't have them then it's like in your head. And then, like, a week later, you start going, like, well,
It'd be amazing how
Am I
similar
feeling
diarrhea and ass cancer seem
Right.
on a computer.
Yeah.
well, it's
exactly.
like, am I feeling what I said, or I don't know. I just started
Touch
looking
of
at
the
shit.
hypochondria setting in a little bit.
I never have been one in my. I don't think anyway until recently, when I've had a few things where I've just kind of been like. Then I do start looking shit up, and like I said, then it's like a week later. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's what that is.
Yeah. Were you ever paranoid about stuff like that growing up?
I wasn't growing up. No,
No?
I really wasn't. I think. I don't know. I wasn't. Literally, I wasn't until the last year.
Yeah.
Honestly,
As you get
I wasn't
older
that
and
guy.
reality sets in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we're not
Yeah.
invincible.
No, for sure.
Yeah. I might make a run to the urgent care. There's one that's like empty right down the street. So I might run over there after the show and just
Sure.
for peace of mind, nothing
Although the
more.
urgent care, dude, like, yeah, God. So what
I've
I
had decent experiences there. Where
Yeah.
they've done an
Overall, it's not
X-ray.
generally not bad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go there for surgery or anything, but you're going to get some basic X-rays.
Well, it's
probably
funny.
Not a bad deal.
No,
Yeah.
it's fun. You're right. It's just a weird thing because it's such a mix. I had that one that I mentioned when I broke my shoulder in Utah, where that dude was fucking really good and really helpful and tried and even called me up a week later to check out.
Yeah.
And then I've had others where I think I explained. I don't know if I said this one time. I think I did, like a week ago, where I went in and they're like, "Yeah, that's weird." And I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
I
should
agree.
I
That's why
do
I'm
something? And then she tells me, she goes, we don't do blood work here. I'm like, dude, like, it was a walk-in clinic, but it wasn't even a walk-in. It was like the Henry Ford that I go to. So it's like, I'm at where my normal doctor is. I'm just walking in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the emergency, but not like a privatized. I'm like, yeah, the blood thing is right over there.
Yeah.
I know this is where I go to get my blood drawn. What do you mean you don't do it here?
That's funny.
Like, I know that you do.
Yeah.
Well, I think of it like my whole life when you're growing up, you could break a bone or something and they'll cast you or whatever.
Yeah.
But you don't really have, for the most part, all of us, we don't really have underlying health issues.
Right.
When you're young. And so it just seems like, oh, doctors are great. You go in for your physical, you go in because.
Patch you up, make you better.
Yeah. But what I'm finding now is you got to be on these people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, I can't explain to them how much pain I'm in with my back. And it's like, well, we'll see you the end of September. It's like,
There's probably a giant red flag on your file.
Right.
right.
They're like, yeah, we know how much pain you're in.
Yeah.
Like, we know.
Well, I don't know. Maybe
No, I don't
maybe this pain is a 1 and I'm just a total pussy. It feels like a fucking 9 or 10 across the board, and I really don't know what to do.
Well, for one, and not to just do this whole thing, and you have an example from your life, but I will tell you, I haven't mentioned it too much. I don't really think I mentioned it or not, but my mom had some serious stuff this year where she had to have
Vaginoplasty?
No, she had to have surgery though, pretty serious surgery, and the thing she had, like, she had been going to doctors for a long time, telling them symptoms, telling them things, and then she finally hit one where they're like, oh shit, yeah, you need to take care of this.
Yeah.
And my mom, and I'm talking a few years of my mom going and telling them stuff, and they would just think she's making it up. They would just tell her like, oh yeah, you're young enough, you're fine.
Yeah.
We don't see anything obvious here.
Yeah, maybe they just
Okay.
think it's hypochondria, someone,
And it's like, yeah,
crying
so,
wolf.
and you know what? I know there's a lot of very hardworking nurses and doctors. Obviously, there's most of them, I'm sure, care a lot. And are
I
trying
know
to help.
nurses that care a lot.
Right.
That doesn't mean all of them.
I know.
Doesn't mean all of them. There's something special when you get someone that's really helpful at the doctor's office.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like it's almost kind of rare.
Anywhere, actually. Yeah.
Good point. Very
in any
true.
point these days to get somebody that does the little extra.
Yeah.
That really cares about their
funny.
job.
It's funny how much that matters to me. Like, I don't care if I'm going through McDonald's and you pull up and it's just like, hey, how's your day going? We'll be right up with your order. And they're like, hey, thanks. Come visit us again soon. You're like, yeah. You want to almost fist bump them because everyone else, I'll pull up. I always greet people. Hey, how you doing, man? And the amount of times you just get a fucking death look
Just
or
a stare.
And you're like, okay, this is great.
But I will say there is a difference between the McDonald's and you going into the doctor and being like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it might be a little different.
little different.
But not really.
I know they have a regular
How
job
you're
too,
treated is how you're treated.
by the way. And by the way, I know they have a regular life and it's a job to them too. And I know that they have bad days and they have things. It's just it's funny when it's your health though. It's very much like, how is this not the number one thing in front of you right now?
Because everybody in there has the number one thing in front of them for them.
Right. They
It's
are
just you
humans.
and it's your world.
Well,
they understand there's 25 other people in the office doing the exact same thing at that exact same time.
Well, I know from my vicious wipeout on the ice just how this feeling is and how painful it is and how long it lasts.
Oh, yeah.
And like you were saying, there's nothing they can do for a broken rib or, I mean, I don't even know if they give you anything for it, really.
No. I said I cracked one back here. I never got the x-rays because...
God, that must have hurt like hell because I didn't even crack
I couldn't even
one.
breathe. Oh, I couldn't even breathe. I know. I mean, it had to have cracked because it was fucking 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Before I could take a deep breath.
Yes.
6 weeks. Not like till it went away.
Yeah.
I could...
That's how my back was, Troy.
Yeah,
That's
like
exactly
6
how
weeks.
it was.
Yeah.
It was weeks and weeks.
It
I
was
felt like it
probably
was
3
even longer
months
than that.
before it would I finally started to get some relief from it.
Overnight, after 3 months, where it was like, oh, I can roll over in bed without sharp shooting pain.
Yeah.
So this feels familiar. It's just crippling. It's blinding. It's hard to hold a
Could have just tweaked
conversation.
something in there. Pull the
I could've.
muscle or whatever. Could have flared up with something, especially if it is, or if it was, cracked or something along those lines. It just shifted a little bit and then it hurts.
And I can almost feel it crack a little bit, especially when they're doing PT on me and they're really grinding on me. I'm like, avoid my left side, man, because they're grinding on me and driving that shit into the table.
Yeah.
It's like, so I got to go back there tomorrow.
I broke my sternum
fun.
in high school playing football.
Yeah.
And so forever, like it never really set right.
Right.
And so forever, like every once in a while, like however it would like get offset or like
Yeah.
and I'd have to go and like and I mean it was like the loudest thing. It would pop back out and
my God.
I'd have to like stretch it out and crack it.
Is there just nothing
did
that
it
could
hurt?
have been done, or do you just not do anything?
I don't know. It just didn't. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Probably-
That was high school football.
Yeah,
Do you remember
Just put a
G with
pad
his
on there.
shoulder?
Not really. He's your brother.
Yeah, I know, but he was around us plenty. But he'd be playing hoops or something, or
Oh yeah, wouldn't it always like pop out? Or
yeah,
something? Yeah, that's right.
And it
yeah.
would just pop out, and his whole fucking arm. He ended up having surgery and fixed it, but for a time, it was like he'd be walking down the street, and just be like, shoulder would pop out, and then he'd have to fucking like find a way
Mel
to pop
Gibson
it
that shit back in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was bad, man. It was really bad for a few years. but
Sorry, dude. I'm not trying.
I know.
I'm not trying to.
I'm the one that's sorry, man. It feels like I come in here every fucking day with some new giant ailment that takes up 15 minutes of the show. You know, it's like, I apologize. It is what it is. RadioFor1.com. Buy merch, T-shirts, sweatshirts, tank tops. They look great. All the pictures people have shared on social media look great.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the Amazon link, Amazon Canada, My Pillow's there. Go to the My Store. I cracked into the My Coffee today.
Did you? I know.
First pot.
I took the last of the Dunkin' the other day. I figured we were getting into the My Coffee time.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Immensely?
Huh? Yeah. As far as coffee goes, now I'll be the first to say I'm not a connoisseur by any stretch. Like to me, when people are like, "Oh yeah, this fucking wine is a vintage classic," I'm like, "Yeah, it tastes like fucking $2 chuck to me."
Yeah.
Like coffee's almost similar to that.
You just make it like mud anyway.
No, not really.
it.
I've started doing better with that.
was it
And I
just
never
like?
meant to do that. I was
Packed in there like it's espresso.
Gotcha.
well. They tell me 6 scoops for a full pot, and so I've been doing 5. And it, but whatever. But the My Pillow coffee, it was like absolutely on par with my Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks
All
or
right.
whatever else. So you'll have to try it. But
I will definitely.
yeah. So use promo code TDC if you go to the My Store and try their coffee. I
Get
like
discount on coffee there, right? How
Yeah.
about that? I mean, save money on coffee? What's better than that?
Yeah. Groupon is there, linked to our Patreon page. We added a bunch of content on Friday, I guess. We talked to Greg Henson, announced that he and I are going to start doing a little show on Fridays.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, if T's around, you're welcome to join.
It's my day off.
What's that?
That's my day off.
I know, right? You can, and that's fine. I'm excited for that. So that's coming this Friday. We got nerds working behind the scenes trying to set that up. So we'll see how that goes. As long as I don't have a heart attack and die
Okay.
between now and then. Anyway, let's get to some news.
All right.
What's going on?
Anything happen over the weekend? I have
The
no idea.
Lions played.
Oh,
They did.
Yeah.
Yep.
First team looked good.
they lost though.
Yep.
Oh,
Not so well at the end.
Who
I-
cares?
I-
Same old Lions at the
That's
end.
exactly
yes.
what I said. That's going to
just
give
kidding.
everybody that excuse
know,
of
yeah.
how they lost. I go, that's a shame because it was a good game. It was well played.
I'm kidding, obviously.
I know, but that was a very typical SOL finish to a game, and that's exactly what I said at the time. I go,
Get a
it's
quarterback,
shame
yeah, on the
because it's
rollout, throw a Hail Mary, basically.
That's just going to give that people that excuse, and they're going to miss
Right.
the reality of what that game was.
By the way, I don't even know what happened. I just know that something happened. I didn't
they
watch the
lost.
side at the end.
Oh,
that,
yeah,
that
like
turned it into an SL. It was like
they
a
had-
fumble or something.
Yeah, it was
or-
a fumble on your third string quarterback, David Blau.
Yeah.
You know, whatever, fine.
Yeah.
It's I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's
And
why
then
he's your third string quarterback.
Gave Atlanta a chance, and they scramble wildly and just kind of chuck one into the end zone. It's
Yeah,
one-on-one.
I'm late, like a third or fourth and long or
Yeah.
something. They end up with a crazy touchdown to go up.
Right.
You normally would have held it to 3, would have been a tie game. You got a chance to go and win. and it-
Overtime. There would have been.
well, it
okay,
would have been,
I
but
don't
then
know.
on
Do
like
they do
third and
overtime
long,
in preseason games?
They probably just tied.
I don't think they do.
I don't know what they.
I
do.
hope not.
Yeah.
I would hope not. And
Maybe.
the funny thing
Why
is,
not?
the reality of the funny thing is, if they had won, I'd just be saying that
It wouldn't matter,
It wouldn't matter.
exactly.
Who
No.
cares?
Yeah.
But because
Yeah,
they
yeah.
lost, in that way, then SOL.
Yeah, I
Well-
mean, the reality too is that most of the guys that played in that fourth quarter aren't even going to be on the team.
No.
No,
no.
I know.
They're going to
They're
cut
not.
40
I mean-
guys between now.
Yeah. So
I know.
okay, great. So those guys that aren't going to make the team lost a game.
I know.
It'll be interesting to see Hard Knocks
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yep, so-
see that because that'll be footage from that game. and-
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be cool. But I
Should be.
thought
I
the
think
first
that's
team
the lag on it.
offense looked great.
That's why it gets them.
Going
That's why
right-
it comes on Tuesday so they can have the
Yeah,
weekend.
sure. First team marched right down the field, 10 plays, 79 yards. I know, which is great.
Yep.
Offense, a good. Defense looked equally bad because giving up a big drive themselves. But whatever.
I will say this too,
it was impressive.
I know
and
this-
Aiden Hutchinson looked like a fucking beast.
Yeah, he's going to be a problem, I think.
I know what I'm about to say is a very typical Lions fan thing too, a cynical Lions fan, I should say. But like, I heard somebody on Sports Radio today, oh, that first drive was, as good as you could ask for, and blah blah. And you know what though, dude? How many times in the last 5, 10, whatever years they
50.
score regularly on the first drive?
Yeah.
Stafford would always seemingly to me take them down
then-
on the first,
and then not
score.
score,
Yeah.
A lot of teams do because that first drive is sort of scripted most of
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah,
it's
that could-
something
maybe-
they,
and
they
maybe
really
that's-
practice, and they have all those scenarios.
That could
and
be,
then you
yeah.
have to adjust from there.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
there you go then. But but it's just funny because I did hear someone say that, and I just thought, yeah, I have so. I mean, the game Mike and I went to, remember in the suite where they ran it back for a touchdown or something to start the game.
Which
Jets, perhaps?
Yes, it was.
Opening
the
kick.
or no,
kickoff or-
was it the Jets?
the interception
Or was
on
it-
Monday Night Football?
Okay, pick six.
Yeah.
Pick 6
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Lions had.
Okay,
It was
that-
like, oh yeah, we're going to the
Oh,
Super
and then
Bowl, baby.
fucking
Was that
42.
Sam Darnold's rookie game? His first game?
I think it was. And then
Threw
he came
for like
back and
400
came
yards,
back and beat him.
smoked
Yeah.
him.
Yep.
Anyway, sorry. I know that's, like I said, such a typical Lions comment, but it's also true.
That's all right.
It
That's
is.
all right.
Yeah,
It's-
again, I hope they go 0-17 this year.
For real?
I do. Because
Why?
they're not going to get anything except a shittier draft pick out of going 8-9 this year. They're
Yeah.
not. Now I understand. Believe me, I get the logistics of it, and it wouldn't be good for the team, the morale, for the coaching staff, any of that stuff to lose
That's
like
the
that.
problem,
I understand
yeah.
that. Believe me, I get that. But you're not playing for anything this year.
Well, what if it's one of those Cinderella teams, man?
You
We've
ain't
seen it
that
before.
fucking good, bro.
I think you probably got to
you're
win
not.
5
I said that about
games, though.
Cincinnati.
You got another
last
first
year.
round pick from LA next year.
Yeah.
2. And
now
It's just going to be a
Stafford's hurt,
shit
right?
pick.
it doesn't matter. Well, but I'm saying if you can still get 2 first-round picks. Look what they did this year. You can parlay that into some real talent. And if this next year is the quarterback-heavy draft that they're talking about, I would just assume have my pick of whoever it is coming
Yeah.
out in the first 1 or 2 picks, and not have to bundle those two picks to move up. I would rather be picking in the top 3 again than 8th or 9th. 10th,
15th.
somewhere
Yeah.
in middle of the road
no, I
if they
hear
have
ya.
a decent year.
I hear you. It's an
And then you
argument.
got to double up both those picks to move up into the top 5 to get a quarterback if that's what you want to do.
You sound
So-
like the Miami Dolphins owner right now.
Well, it's
Trying to
just-
pay
I mean-
off his coach to lose games.
No, like I said, I wish they'd go down there and have a chance to kick a field goal to win every game and then take a knee. Like we know we
We
won
could
that
have
game.
beat you.
But if it was
We know.
every game, though?
Who cares?
But what if it was
Means
every
you
game?
were 17-0, and you made yourself 0-17
Well,
for a
whatever.
draft pick.
You know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. Anyway, it's exciting to have pro football there. I didn't watch too
Absolutely.
much over the weekend, but it is exciting.
Yeah, this
to
first
step
week's
into
kind
the
of,
fall.
kind of a joke. Although
Yeah.
there's only 3 weeks now, so
I love that.
this next
Is
week
there
will
only
be-
3 now?
There's only 3 preseason
That is
games.
nice.
Yeah.
So
Way better.
this one everybody will play.
Except
and
for
then-
that first game that they have
Hall of
4.
Fame game?
Yeah, the Hall of Fame guys
Yeah.
have 4.
Okay.
They get an extra one for whatever.
But
bet that player's
coaches have
contract-
learned now they're just not going to play their guys.
Yeah.
They're you saw what happened with the Jets. Zach Wilson throwing bombs and banging moms.
That's my guy.
Yeah, he stepped funny and torn meniscus, and they're like, hey, he should be ready by week 1. I know I'm not Zach Wilson, right? I'm not comparing myself to Zach Wilson, but I tore meniscus and had that surgery. It fucking sucked for way more than a month.
Yeah.
Now I
And
didn't
I
really
would say
have
that
as far as
you're,
him.
no
It's just-
offense, but you're not the supreme athlete that he probably was at the time.
I was 26 at the
Okay,
time.
so you're younger.
So I was younger and in shape.
Yeah,
healthy
but
enough.
they have a lot more treatments at their
Well, that's why
disposal
I didn't
than
want to
that.
compare myself directly.
That's fair.
As far as throwing
And
bombs
it's still
and
going to
banging
suck.
moms.
You can play on it. It's still going to suck. You're going to play through pain. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody does. I think part of the problem with this though is they keep shortening this. Like I saw a thing where I don't remember what team it was. Whether it might have been the Lions, it might not have been. I don't remember exactly where I saw it. But that they had 8 days from the time they started their practice to the time they played that first scrimmage game.
Really?
Yeah. Now there's like some OTAs and there's some conditioning and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
rookie camp.
But lining up, you know, at
with
camp
pads.
and training camp, and not even that. Most of that's not live contact with pads. They were all pissed at Campbell because he made them wear pads on the first day of practice. They're like, "What the fuck?" He's
Yeah.
like, "Trust me."
Yeah.
and he's
You
right.
need this.
He's right because you need that contact. You need this stuff. So I mean, think about being in that. I understand these are elite level athletes, but imagine going from sitting on your couch essentially all summer to going
But
from.
they're not sitting on their couch. Also.
No, I mean, but 8 days is what you have to prepare for that first preseason game. I know it's a
Yeah, yeah.
preseason game, and that's why you don't put too much stock into it. But that's a crazy thought to me that 8
Yeah.
days from the start of your training camp to your first preseason game, like it's just not enough time to physically.
But
get
I
ready
think
for
those guys are
contact,
year
to-
round nowadays. They've got specialists. that are
Conditioning,
working- yeah,
but
they're-
that's
they're-
different. I
no,
mean,
I know, but
than-
those
than
guys are
contact.
going with elite coaches wherever they are in the world, and
Some
keeping,
do, some don't.
Right, true, but more do nowadays, and more will going forward.
Yeah.
I don't
No, but you just can't substitute that live contact. You
Yeah.
just can't. Even in scrimmage and practice, you guys aren't going that hard.
Right.
Which is why you see the fights breaking out at camps like you do. These guys get fucking tattooed by one of their teammates, and they get all pissed about it.
I wonder
yeah.
what the kickers do all summer. Yeah, no,
Kick.
let's
They
be
kick.
honest.
They
kick.
hone their
go
craft.
out a few times a
Yeah,
week.
that's
and
the
just do some
easiest thing,
kicking.
right? Have
Yeah,
some
go
kid
out onto
go
a
hold
high
balls
school
for you.
field.
at
That's
the
kind of my
field and
point.
Just
like,
go kick.
Just
yeah.
once a week or something. Just go to a place
Yeah,
and.
but
do
they
some
don't have to
kicks
worry
and-
about contact like
No,
the linemen.
Oh,
and
no,
shit,
no.
you
I
know.
was just more joking about what their summer would be like. Honestly, like
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, standing on the sidelines, kicking balls. and
right.
about it. It's a good gig, but there's a lot of pressure, man.
There is.
A lot of games come down to within 3 points.
Yeah.
And
I'd be a punter.
Yeah.
punter would be cool. Backup quarterback who never gets in the game.
Yeah, well,
ultimate job.
Can't guarantee that though.
I know, but
Yeah.
look at what's his name. Got a $40 million deal. Who was the Lions' former quarterback? Is in
Mitchell?
his 14th year? No.
Oh. What? Now
Yeah,
somewhere?
he's the Chargers quarterback now.
Oh,
Backup.
backup for the.
Yeah. $40 million deal. Fucking,
Who
it's
the
like
hell's still out there?
$6
Kitna?
million per touchdown pass in his career.
Really?
Yeah.
Who the
Yeah.
hell's out there?
You'll know him.
Chase Daniel.
Chase Daniel.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
He was on here for like a minute.
Yeah. But he
yeah.
was, but yeah, signed a $40 million. The guy never sniffs the field.
No,
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he was behind Breeze for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Great gig if you can
It
get
is a good gig if you can get it.
I used to always say as a kid, I'd be like, man, I'd want to be like the freaking bullpen catcher,
Yeah.
or some shit. Like, who cares? Make absolute league minimum. Make
Which is
fucking-
why we're not pro athletes, because we don't have the fucking drive to fucking demand excellence.
Right.
No, I'll just
right.
be the backup catcher and just pay me $100,000 a year. I'm
And I'll
good.
just sit back here and
Yeah, I still get a ring, right?
right, exactly.
That's all that matters.
March down the parade.
Moving on, but staying in the world of sports, I think we can all agree.
wide,
this is
wide
great
world of
sports. Yeah, Brittany Griner. We've talked about this. A lot of places have not talked about this. Said in 2020 that the national anthem should not be played in NBA games and vowed to protest if it was played.
Yeah.
Her comments about the anthem resurfaced online after sentencing of 9 years.
Oh yeah. What?
So-
They act like that shit didn't happen?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
What? That does,
I wonder if that even crosses her mind as she's sitting in a fucking jail cell now.
Probably. She probably got a lot of time to think about everything she's done and said.
Yeah.
She's probably going, you know what? I'm asking these motherfuckers to come get me out of this shit, and I'm dogging them.
Yeah.
You know.
I honestly feel we should not play the national anthem during our season. I think we should take that much of a stand. I don't mean that in any disrespect to our country. No, obviously.
What should we play?
not.
Is it "Lift Every Voice"? Is that the?
Is that the black
is that
national
Yeah,
anthem?
the substitute national anthem.
Yeah.
So I think
Are they going to do that bullshit again this year?
Oh, I'm sure.
You think so?
I'm sure.
They got ragged so bad for that stuff.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
they do it last year? I didn't even know.
Yeah, they did.
They do
for-
it like before.
yeah,
Okay.
not during the
Yeah,
televised
they don't like
part.
televise it, but then they
Gotcha.
do it like before, and then they do the national.
And then they show highlights of it for 20 seconds that act like this is amazing.
Right.
Yeah, so amazing you didn't air it.
Exactly.
So I don't mean any disrespect to our country. I love when people say that. What do you mean? What does that mean when you're like, don't play the national anthem, or I won't even come out of the fucking locker room?
Yep.
How
But
is
no
that
disrespect
not
to
disrespectful?
to the nation of that has
Right.
the anthem.
Right. Like, fine, you can take issue with the country, how it handles its shit, and you can decide to take a knee or stay in the locker room, but don't act like it's not disrespect. It's horribly disrespectful to
Yep.
a lot of Americans who will fight for your freedom to do that
And
but it
have.
do- and have.
Yes, exactly. And
There are
continue to.
plenty of them. Yeah, they will defend that, but A lot of them are just flat like, fuck you, man. I fought in some of the shittiest conditions in the world for this country, and for you to act like, oh, no disrespect, but fuck your anthem. Yeah, okay.
Disrespect taken.
Yeah. My dad was in Vietnam and a law officer for 30 years. I wanted to be a cop before basketball. I do have pride in my country, clearly. But I'm going to protest regardless. I'm not going to be out there for the national anthem. If the league continues to want to play it, that's fine. It will be all season long. I'll not be out there. I feel like more are going to probably do the same thing. I can only speak for myself. Tommy Laren, smoking hot, said, oh, on the bright side, Griner won't have to endure our national anthem for 9 whole years. What a win for her.
Yeah. It's a good comment.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wonder how she's feeling, sitting in a Russian jail.
Yeah.
Knowing that she really could use America's help right now.
Eventually, they're probably going to make a move to get her out, would be my guess.
Oh, there's no way she stays there for 9 years, I would imagine.
No. But
would that bum you out if she did, though? I hate to be revengeful or...
How do you feel about trading a WNBA player for an arms dealer?
I mean...
Seems tit for tat, eh? Apples to apples?
I think he's going into something else, though. I think he wants to do, like, movie making now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, sure, of course. Why not?
He shut down the arms dealing.
So what we get... But we're giving them the arms... So he is going over there.
Well, I understand that, but that was the problem. He was doing really bad stuff.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, he was arming small armies around the world so that they can compete,
Can't we just give them money? Like, does it have... Because I do believe she shouldn't be there for 9 years. And I wouldn't mind if America came and helped out. But can't they just give them money instead of a person even? Can't they just give them like a fucking...
No, it's like a...
$1 billion
It's a political move.
Yeah, that's all it is.
You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
It's something to keep in the... what are you going to do about it, America? If we don't agree to sell her back to you...
Right.
Or, trade for a fucking arms dealer.
Exactly.
Known as the Merchant of Death.
Yeah, like, okay, we don't give a shit. We'll keep her. Fuck her.
Yeah. Yep.
That is, it's a quandary because, I guess I don't...
it's going to hurt the Phoenix Mercury, right? We can all agree with that.
Oh, clearly. Yeah.
That's
their
really...
attendance is going to go right in the toilet.
Yeah. Can you imagine the 12 season ticket holders? Like, if you don't have Brittany Griner on the court.
Yeah, definitely. I would just turn those right back in.
Who are you going to go to? Breonna Taylor? You think she could carry the load?
Isn't she dead?
No, that's Breonna. Whatever. Breonna Taylor's a fellow Phoenix Mercury player.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just don't think she's got the skill set.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well, she's also she's probably not a 6'11" dude either.
True.
So
true.
Yeah.
But she's speaking out, defending her teammate. She also is against the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, okay.
I wish she would vacation in Russia this summer.
Take a doobie with you.
Yeah, exactly. They're nice over there.
Hey, there you go. Smuggle some in your cooch and take them in. You guys can get all high in the Russian jails
and then
together.
Fucking get it on. Because some serious scissoring going on. I would love to individually respond and annihilate every negative viewpoint I receive, but that would be a waste of my time. So why are you even making the comment then? If you've acknowledged it's a giant waste of your time.
And that you see them.
And that you see them all, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're aware of them. And you're...
But I don't know.
But no, I'm not playing this game.
Of course not.
At the end of the day, many people lack compassion and critical thinking skills, and it's not my responsibility to teach that. Respectfully, get a life, trolls. Well, I don't know how much critical thinking you need. If you're an American citizen going into Russia, they hate you already.
Yep.
So how about you don't bring hashish oil, cannabis oil, and hope to get through without incident. But I don't need to be critically thinking very much to go, oh yeah, that was a big mistake.
Yeah, that was a dumb mistake, and it shouldn't be a 9-year mistake, but you don't get to make that choice.
Yeah.
So it's not like they changed the rules for her. That's the punishment for it there. It was up to 10 years, right?
Yep.
And they
went
for
easy
9.5, and they only gave her 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could have got the full 10.
I don't have the capacity to... She's still going on about how much she doesn't care.
Blah, blah, blah.
I don't have the capacity to respond to every hateful message about Brittany Griner. I think it's easy to be an outsider and wish the worst. Yeah, it is. She made it kind of easy. A little bit, I'm trying to be compassionate, but wait, talk to me next year.
Yeah.
let's have the discussion then.
Well, it's just the irony. It's not lost on me.
Right.
That
Right.
when you have everything in your palm, you can shit all over it. Yet
Right.
when things start to fall apart, that's you come crawling back. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's easy to not know all the facts. It's easy to spread hate on social media. Yeah. I know many Americans lack compassion due to all the chaos that,
imagine if they're
that
just
happens
playing
regularly.
the fucking national anthem like on a loop
They should.
to her. Yeah, just
Yeah.
blasting it into
you
her
imagine?
cell. Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, Russia, let's see. Brittany Griner is my friend and teammate, one of the kindest people I know. Even before being detained in Russia, she would receive hate from trolls because they didn't like her looks or what she supported. Yet she continuously held her head high.
Well, she's 6'11" or whatever.
Yeah,
Of course,
it's always
her head's
held
high.
high. Yeah.
Even she holds it down, it's high.
And, maybe this is just a little test. We're going to see how high she holds her head for 9 years. And honestly, the fact that the WNBA players are dipping their toes into the fucking controversy of the Star Spangled Banner or something, play it. Don't play it.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit.
Right.
The 15 people that are in the stadium will survive not hearing the national anthem.
Fine.
Shut
You
it
don't
down.
wanna- you don't wanna
play
do
whatever
it.
you want.
Yeah, stay in the locker room. You're still going to hear it. Haha.
Yeah.
But just shut the fuck up about it. Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't make a thing out of it if that's what you want to do. But you want to be out in front. You want to make the statement. You want it
Yeah.
to be about you. Well, now it's all about you, bitch.
I suppose in a lot of ways, that's really the only way someone like that in that position is going to get on SportsCenter.
Well, listen,
what I mean?
you do a little crossover left-handed layup, boy. That'll get you in the top 10 all day.
Obviously, that'll get you in the top 10, and they're
Yeah.
going to do a lot more stories on it. Yeah. But still, if you make comments bashing America, ESPN starts jacking off in their fucking boardroom.
Yeah.
Like that's the...
She's one of the few dunkers, I think, isn't she?
Oh,
I think
call her
Griner's.
the dunker, really?
Well, I mean,
For them.
for that, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
theoretically,
Yeah.
yeah. I think she's one of the few that actually dunks or has.
See if you could Google that. Has Brittany Griner ever dunked
I'm sure.
She
He's
had
right.
one.
She's tall enough, I think. So
in a game or, just in practice or with a tennis ball?
Something, anything off trampoline like the gorilla at the at halftime.
yeah.
Any of it.
Where's he at? Where's the gorilla from?
Is that the Jazz or no? Somebody out west, right? The gorilla.
Yeah. Shit. It doesn't matter.
It does not matter. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's say
Yeah, that'd be fun.
the
dude.
Lakers.
God damn you. What do you got, E?
Oh, look at that!
I guess.
Ooh,
Look at that!
career
Don't
dunks
mix. Here we
mix.
go.
Oh, best stuff. There we go.
Oh boy.
Do you want to know
Best
the
of
secret?
minute
to
30.
I bet these are going to be hammers.
Oh,
too.
this is all three of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
let's
here
see
we
it.
go. All right, hey, listen. That's
Yeah.
a legit dunk right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How tall is she?
6'9".
Is it 6'9"?
I think so.
The second one was a little weaker.
Yeah. I mean, they're not all going to be, highlight reels, but
If she
Can I-
could get one hand, can't she get the two hand? Kind of pull
it's-
herself up and look like she really hammered one home?
It's
That one
definitely it's easier to go one than two for sure. I've been able to get one. I've never been able to get two.
Really? You've gotten one-handed
I
back
can-
in the day?
Yeah, I could dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I never two. There's
Oh,
a two-hander.
wow, that
there
was-
you go.
that was
That's
decent.
pretty good. That's legit.
Yeah.
That looks like that same one. Now, see, we're replaying them already. We're back.
Yeah.
We're back.
But they didn't replay the best ones by far.
I know
Was
the two-hander. I know.
Yeah.
I think this is the 7 dunks. They're just playing back to back.
Yeah. You could shut it off.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah. Seen enough.
Yeah, but hey, I mean that's one of the only things that would make the NBA at least watchable is some dunking.
Yeah. I don't know why they can't just. I mean, it wouldn't ruin the game at all if you just dropped it to 9 foot.
Yeah.
And then some of these really big bitches could fucking hammer dunks down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know why. They're on average. They're first off.
Do they have a dunk contest for the WNBA All-Star break?
Yeah, right? They could.
The layup contest.
The problem is the distribution of weight between men and women, the center of gravity, like where you are. It's why men can jump because ours is in our shoulders, where women's is in that fat ass childbearing hips.
all in the hips.
Which is why they get about 2 inches off the ground.
Yeah.
You know, I can't get much higher myself right now. I get it, but historically, that's why guys go up and just fucking roller
sky.
coaster. It's sky,
Yeah,
absolutely
of course.
sky. Women could never do that. I mean,
Now,
maybe
you're not
one that
saying
identifies
there's
as
a
a woman.
difference between a man and a woman. Clearly, you're not saying that.
My God.
No. And obviously, a woman who used to be who identifies as a woman, he might have some ups. She might have some ups.
Yeah, yep.
Right? You know what I'm
Probably
saying?
more than most.
Probably more than most girls.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if Brittany Griner was.
I remember seeing something. It must have been Photoshop, but it was like her on I don't know, almost like a schoolyard game, like a fucking
Pickup game?
Yeah, like a pickup game on some court outside somewhere, and took her shirt off after and was like. Just like a dude.
What?
Yeah. But it had to have been like Photoshopped or something.
Yeah.
There was like pictures like shirt off and it's just like looked like fucking Kobe.
Was her dick tip hanging below her shorts?
No, the shorts are long enough. You know, you go with those
okay.
long baggy shorts.
Yeah,
that way you
yeah.
can't see, the helmet popping out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly. The World Economic Forum. Is there anything more scary than the World Economic Forum? Klaus.
Yeah. But, they got their little finger on the pulse of everything.
They're global. Okay,
Yes.
So the globe operates in very different ways depending on where you are on this fucking rock.
I had a thought. I had a thought recently, and it was like, why do we speak different languages? Like, why?
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Why don't we all just why
Well,
was there
different cultures and different.
I know.
I mean, obviously, I know it's funny.
But how,
So there is like a funny thought to me. Like way back.
if it
in the
all
day,
started in one place, all you thumpers out there, if it all started with Adam and Eve, then why do we have so many different languages? How would it have ever evolved from that?
I'm being kind of facetious. Like I get it. But on the same hand, I think it's really. I actually am curious about it. Like in a lot of ways. Like why didn't people just sit in the spot? And just keep talking the same way and move out. Why did they go away and then go, oh, let's start talking like a different way?
Well, that's why we don't use the metric systems. Just because fuck them. That's why we're going to do our own thing.
I know, but it's like, think about
We're a
these
laughing
people
stock to the world.
had to go out and then they'd be like, yeah, fuck those people. We're going to create our own language and we're going to talk like this forever. Like you go to, it's just crazy to me when you think about it. If you really think about
Inches
it.
and feet.
As humans, I can't just go over to fucking Germany or Italy and just talk.
Nope.
No, you can and you would,
right?
but it wouldn't be.
Coherent.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I said. It's kind of.
I just don't like the idea of some global cabal.
Well, of course not.
Looking down on us, like judging everybody, like especially this country. You want to play these fucking games around the world? Go ahead. They don't have freedom of speech or anything close to it anywhere in the world like we do here.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what, dude? I don't need you making decisions for us. First off, you look like he looks like a Dr. Evil character.
Oh, yeah.
Right out of Central Casting.
Exactly. Right.
You know what I mean? Klaus Schwab. Anytime you hear him talk, it's like, oof, this guy's scary as shit. But the World Economic Forum shared a report outlining a plan to mitigate the dark world of online harm
I'm sorry?
by using human and artificial intelligence to censor bad actors who produce and promote, here's where they're going to tell you, child abuse. You're like, oh, okay, but no one likes
Sounds
child
good.
abuse.
Yeah, okay.
Are we gonna get on top of those pedophiles?
Yeah,
Maps.
we'd have to start with the World Economic Forum and everyone that goes there. They probably have their own harem of child slave
That's
sex.
quite an accusation.
Yeah, I know it is. But no one would believe me. I'm full of shit all the time. Yeah, right. Oh shit! The convoy of the black trucks pulled up again.
Pulled up.
Child abuse. Okay, yeah, we're going after that. Also, disinformation and hate speech.
Yeah, well, there we go.
See, and
then it
therein
becomes a little
lies the
more
problem.
subjective.
Yeah.
There's the economy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's the World Economic Forum. I mean,
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
You'd hope they'd focus on the economy.
Maybe we
and
should
hate
focus-
speech.
Right.
No, it should be the World Anti-Hate Speech Forum because that's what's important.
Anytime, like disinformation, when I hear that word, it just sends chills down my spine.
Should.
Because it's just such a generic and overused term.
Right.
And it just acts like, I mean, there's certain things in this world that are indisputable, basically.
Yeah.
Absolute facts. Sky is blue, things like that.
Men are men, women are women.
Well,
like
no,
indisputable.
that-
2 plus
that's-
2 is 4. Mm-hmm. Is it?
Of course it is. That's the most basic of things. However, but you're going to start putting somebody's interpretation or manipulation into what are facts or what is not even facts, what is considered misinformation or disinformation.
Right. Plus, it's not like the good thing is it's not like they lean one way politically.
Yeah, of
You know
course.
what I mean? Like
no.
they really do play it right down the middle.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm glad they've figured it out.
Oh yeah, because
You
of
know?
course the disinformation comes equally on all sides.
Right.
So we got to really stomp that out
Exactly.
early.
Inbal Goldberger, Vice President of Trust and Safety at ActiveFence, a company that detects malicious online content, published an op-ed on the global organization's website offering a solution to online abuse. Such solutions would enable a blend of AI and so-called subject matter experts to detect nuanced, novel online abuses at scale.
Is it just I for with AI's artificial intelligence? Are regular people just I?
Yeah. So they could nip this before it hits mainstream platforms. And I underlined in that statement.
To make sure that nobody even knows it was ever there.
Right. Mm-hmm. So a blend of AI and so-called subject matter experts.
The SMEs.
Oh, these are the ones that hover above all of us like a god.
Fact checkers.
And they know. They know all the nuance, and they can twist that any way they want to make whoever they want look like an asshole.
Right. Oh, like like the Pablo Escobar thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Exactly, because they were all knowing and knew that that was a threat and a terrorist act on my part that was so
Well, it was nice to
egregious
see-
that I needed to be immediately banned.
It was nice to see them go over all the facts, interview the relevant parties, and then make a proper decision based on that
Exactly.
joke.
Yep.
Right. And it would have taken, honestly, if they did something like that, it would have taken 3 seconds to know, okay, this is a couple buddies fucking with each other.
Yep.
Here. That's all this is. This wasn't a, I'm going to send the fucking cartel to your house to murder your family threat.
How about it just as an easy fix for that? Right, like that was something I posted on his page or on his post or whatever, something how that all went down. Couldn't they have just like sent him a notification and said, "Hey, and even if they temporarily blocked it so it couldn't have been seen or something, then send him something going, hey." This was flagged for being threatening or inappropriate. Do you agree? Do you want it to be removed? Do you think should be, and give him an
Well,
opportunity
it doesn't
to go,
even matter
"Absolutely
if
not."
it's what his opinion is, because it is wrong.
Well, based on their opinion, that's the scariest part about it. But I mean, that would
So
be
you
an
take it up with
easy
the subject
fix.
matter experts.
Hey, I was considered an SME when I was overseas. That was
Really?
one of my it was an SME.
So did you know all and hover over everybody and understand?
Kinda.
Yeah, I believe it. An intelligence-fueled approach to content moderation would work by allowing human and AI teams to flag or remove high-risk items after transmitting millions of sources through training sets, supplementing this smarter automated detection with human expertise to review edge cases and identify false positives and negatives, and then feeding those findings back into training sets will allow us to create AI with human intelligence baked in. This more intelligent AI gets more sophisticated with each moderation decision, eventually allowing near-perfect detection at scale. Perfect detection of what?
Yep.
At scale.
Exactly. What it's programmed to seek out.
Right.
What it's told to find.
So I'm trying to think of some examples. Like when we throw around terms like we do in the media right now, like espionage or traitor. These are based in something. These have very, very serious consequences. When you're talking about anybody who supports Trump or voted for him should never work again, or, if that's the perfect detection, if you're perfectly detecting that anybody that's worn a red and white baseball cap is an alt-right psychopath who wants to destroy democracy.
Domestic terrorist.
If that's what your AI and stuff, and now you found a way to nip that, before it even gets to a platform, before we're on a hot mic here talking about and breaking down what like we have extensively over why Russiagate was bullshit and all that kind of stuff, and it all falls apart eventually.
No.
But it destroys the country for years. Who is this fucking all-knowing, all-seeing expert from somewhere in the globe? Like,
And
dude,
who oversees that?
no one.
No one.
Who wouldn't
No
want these
one.
guys like these telling us what we, you know what I mean? Who wouldn't want people like Bill Gates and John Kerry letting us know?
Yeah.
I mean, I know these are just random people.
Did you
but
see? By the way, did you see the new CDC guidelines
Yeah.
that just
No,
came out?
I
missed
did.
it.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
No more 6 feet distancing. No more differentiating between vaccinated and unvaccinated people.
Okay. Yep.
If you're a student and you've been exposed, you don't have to do shit anymore.
No.
None of it.
No quarantining, no anything. Just take your flu and
so
deal with
basically, all the shit we were saying a year and a half ago.
Yep. It's finally
these clowns
officially on the books.
Right. It's
Interesting.
unbelievable.
Well, that's because their
it was
vaccine has worked so well that we have herd immunity now, and we're on the tail side of it. So thank you, every American.
They don't even say that's
that
why.
did their part. I know, because it's fucking not why.
Right.
They can try and lie and act.
No, but
like
I'm saying
it.
they don't even pretend to.
I know.
They don't even come out and say.
What is the left going to do? Honestly. Like, to come out and switch gears like there's no differentiating between vaxxed and unvaxxed people. Think about that statement.
Come on,
dude,
monkeypox.
Nadal can still not come play. Djokovic or whatever.
Djokovic, yeah.
He still can't come play in the U.S. Open.
Yeah, they won't lie. Oh, they still haven't.
Flying into this country without being vaccinated is the problem for a foreigner.
I thought the CDC was like the be-all, end-all god in this thing. Whatever they said went.
Yeah. Kyrie Irving. Think about players like that. Think about all the people that were fired, lost their fucking jobs, especially federal employees, police, firemen that were like, yeah, I'm not going to get that.
When it's all said and done, we're
now they're like,
right all along.
Yeah, there's no, we were 100% right all along. Yeah. And now they've admitted. So now what do you do to the 60,000 people in New York that lost their fucking jobs?
Class action lawsuit.
I mean, seriously.
But you won't. It'll never happen.
No, because they're on the right side of the media. Media's on their side.
Well, I think that there's, some emergency clause things in there was like, wow, we can't be held accountable. We did what we thought was best at the time.
Right.
So,
Yeah, emergency use.
Yeah. You
can't sue us.
Can't sue us.
Goldberger argues that online access has played a vital role in public perception of events like recessions. Yeah, you're currently lying about that.
Oh, yeah, we're not in a recession.
So no, according to this clown, we're not in a recession, and anybody that tells you different is, disinformation.
0% inflation last month. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. 0% inflation. Yeah. Still the highest inflation rate in 41 years, but whatever.
0%?
It was so high it couldn't have gone up anymore last month. They went up 2 months worth the month before, so they took last month off.
So online access has played a vital role in public perception of events like recessions, viruses. Oh, okay. So they're the end-all, be-all on viruses as well. And, what do a couple fucking usually half-drunk or stoned fucking people in the basement shooting the shit about this stuff? How come we knew this a year and a half ago? And now you're just having to admit it now. Crazy how that works.
And it would be very, very quietly announced.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about it.
Yeah. While extreme opinions, the spread of misinformation, and the wide reach of child sexual abuse material. Why are we wrapping this up with child sexual abuse? Does this give this weight?
Yep,
like we're fighting for child sex abuse victims?
That's what it is, because it's...
What does that have to do with misinformation?
It's just like the fucking pork in all the bills and shit. You put something in there, so if you're against this, then you're for kiddie porn.
Yeah.
By the way, Troy, that wasn't the
That's a great point.
The number one headline on NPR today. The new CDC guidelines.
I didn't listen to that.
I know,
exactly.
but I'm just
no,
kidding.
I'm sure that it was not.
Right.
No, actually, it was not. It was surprisingly on the way in this morning. It was more race baiting.
Oh,
wow!
That's
why
rare.
wouldn't that come up on NPR?
I'm shocked by that.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. It was really surprising.
Yeah. Weird. Weird how that works.
The national public radio, by the way, it's government.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
read that line again.
Public
radio.
Public.
While extreme opinions, the spread of misinformation, and the wide reach of child sexual abuse material have been enabled since the birth of the internet, before reaching mainstream platforms, threat actors congregate in the darkest corners of the web to define new keywords and discuss new dissemination tactics at length. They're secret places where terrorists, hate groups, child predators, and disinformation agents.
Yeah, there's that whole island. You want to go look at? You want to go check that out?
Freely communicate and can provide a trove of information for teams seeking to keep their users safe. Okay, so terrorists, we all hate that.
Yep.
Child predators, we all hate that.
Check.
Hate groups, well, your definition of hate speech and everybody else's definition of hate speech might be totally different.
Absolutely.
Disinformation. What do you mean extreme opinions, by the way? Extreme opinions like Russiagate was bullshit.
Yep.
Extreme opinions like COVID is nonsense not nonsense, but we should have been done with this a year and a half ago.
Right.
Long ago.
Yeah.
We knew masks were bullshit almost day one.
Yeah. That,
a
vaccine should have never been mandated on any level.
Yeah.
Those kind of things.
So those would be extreme opinions that we were proved right on all along.
Yeah, exactly right. So extreme.
So if you can silence the small amount of people that are pushing back on this before they're even allowed to get that out to the platform.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not even out there so you don't even have to fight it once it's out there and try and reel it back in. You can nix that before it even gets out there.
Yep.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
And the
Absolutely
fact that they bury that in all there so that it's indefensible.
Yeah.
You have to support this. We're going against terrorism and kitty fuckers.
Right. Yeah.
You know, are you a kitty fucker? You don't want us to do this?
And hate groups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Who doesn't like hate?
And
hate. I mean,
everyone hates
disinformation. And you know what they're going to go after the most? Disinformation. How about we just put all these things into the dark web, kitty porn, kitty fucker, piece of shits out there?
Dude, they would absolutely consider us that.
Kitty fuckers?
No.
Oh, good. Thank God.
Disinformation, like when they're talking about, these secret places where terrorists and disinformation agents freely communicate.
Well, we've said the I word so many times, so we got to be on like a terrorist watch list or something.
Which word?
The I word.
Which one's the I word again?
Ivermectin.
Oh, ivermectin. Yeah. Well, you just got us flagged again.
I know. Well, at this point, screw it.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, that was wrong.
Yeah.
That was there was no truth to that, no validity to that. That was totally off the walls, off the rails. There's
ivermectin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't believe that.
No, of course not.
This is authoritarianism at its finest when you break it down. When what they're
sir.
talking about. He who controls the information controls the world. Dave Rebel, national security and political warfare consultant, said in a tweet that the content moderation approach would be the most monstrous tyranny history has ever seen. At a time when social media companies have already begun using Orwellian-like censorship tactics, such as labeling conservative content related to domestic and international issues as false or misleading information, officials from the global network of elites have openly talked about rebuilding a new future in a post-COVID world. Fucking terrifying, man.
Yeah. Like I said, just even the way things are labeled. What's her... what's the biscuit that's going against the stretching? It just
Tudor Dixon.
Tudor. I kept thinking, Tulsi kept coming to my head instead of Tudor.
Yeah.
So when she had won the nomination, they made the comment that the day after she got her nomination, she immediately went and spoke at an extreme far right rally. It was like the GOP conference in Texas.
Yeah,
like
right.
that all the nominations,
Yeah,
all the nominees,
point,
went to when they got their nomination. They all met down there.
Yeah.
But they labeled it as I forget the exact wording, but it was either
far right,
extreme right, alt right, something like this.
Yeah.
A rally, not a GOP conference.
Yeah, made it sound like
not an
she was at
actual
a
political
barn.
affiliated thing. Made it sound like she went to a Klan rally
barn
to
with a
go,
fucking burning cross.
gin up the troops, man.
Right.
It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah. But there's people
That'll just eat it up.
Eat it up.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times, like Rob Reiner, I watched Rob Reiner's tweets, Meathead.
Yeah.
And this dude is so convinced Trump's going to jail. He's as bad as
Massey.
Mm-hmm. He's absolutely as bad as Massey. And it's like, dude, how many times do you keep falling for this where you think, oh, God, they got him now.
This is it. This is the smoking gun.
Yeah, he's going to jail now.
Yeah.
Really?
See it so exactly.
I just fucking roll my eyes. Like, dude, what are we talking about here?
You're
see him in
Rob
cuffs
Reiner.
any day now.
What are you doing with your life?
Trying to preserve his career, probably.
I guess. Yeah.
He's made all the money he needs. Yeah. That's the problem. These people are just sitting in a fucking castle in Hollywood, so out of touch with any real human being.
Mm-hmm.
These people have not been human beings for decades.
Yeah.
So, Michael Moore can rage on and on about fucking global warming and blah, blah, blah from his $12 million fucking castle on the lake.
Up on Torch Lake.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, just no sense of awareness, no sense of reality, real people. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't get the disconnect. And I just don't understand how people get that ginned up about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just don't understand why people, the true disdain for Trump. Like, don't like him. Don't care for him. Don't vote for him. That's fine.
It's a phenomenon.
But that you want him hung and burned, is like next level weird to me.
Not to mention, he's likely, possibly. We're not in favor of it. But there's a very good chance he's going to be the Republican nominee.
There's a very good chance he's going to be the next president of the fucking United States again.
But even so, like, you can't see, like, can you even see the argument if you're like a far lefty? Can you even see the argument where that doesn't sit well when you're going after someone who's potentially your political opponent? Like, I don't know. I don't want to dive too much into the politics of this, but obviously, like, I would see how lefties would be pretty upset if Trump, when he was in office, you know, as soon as, like, remember all the lock her up,
Oh,
there
yeah,
were
and
really
he was like,
people,
fuck it.
He was like, come on,
Yeah.
you know, not interested in locking anybody up. They're interested in locking this fucker up.
Oh, absolutely.
And the whole point of all this, is to make him ineligible to run at 24. So,
Or at least just to besmirch him enough
Yeah.
to try and hold him down.
right.
That's the reality of it.
Yeah, they're going to martyr him.
Yeah,
they've already done that,
So
I think.
so far, just about everything they've done has backfired.
Yes.
That it just
All of it.
rallies. It just rallies support on his side more and more and more.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think you need to rally.
you don't
support on
have
his
to. But I'm
side.
just
Those
saying,
people are
every time
ginned
they
up
do it,
already.
they rattle the cage.
Yeah.
That's just the result of what happens. You don't
Yeah.
have to do it, but they're doing it on their own.
Right.
So I mean, his fundraising went through the roof as soon
Yeah.
as that Mar-a-Lago thing went down. Things like that.
Yeah.
It's just
I love it too. You know, I'm getting texts from lefties like, "Oh, the fucking top secret nuclear code stuff," like as if they're printing out the nuclear codes on a piece of fucking 8.5 by 11 and sending him home with it. And he's
Right.
like, he didn't return it.
Yeah.
So he's walking around with the nuclear codes.
yeah, and like he
as
took
if
him in the
that's how it
box. Like if he
works.
really wanted it, he wasn't just like.
Yeah.
Don't those fucking things
Write that down
like
on a
you
little
guys
piece of
say,
paper and
change
take it out with you.
Don't they change probably every
I
fucking
would
day
think
or
so.
every 5
Every-
hours
yeah,
or
I
something?
hope
Or
so.
seriously,
Every few
though.
minutes. Every few minutes.
Right, dude.
But this idea that there's top
I know.
secret level, you know,
And why did they
we're in
let
a
it go so
digital
long?
world. This isn't a typewriter world anymore where you've got folders and briefcases of shit. It would all be on a fucking laptop anyways.
Well, why did it
Now
take
it's
so
some
long
sort of
to get
national
down there?
security.
Yeah.
Like now all of a sudden he's
All
a,
of a sudden.
he's a traitor
2
to this
years later,
country.
by the way.
Yeah.
And not to mention when they got the warrant, because it was so, we need to crush in right now because God knows he could sell all our nuclear codes to Russia and China, you know, because and blow the country up. But you got that warrant, wow, signed by a super lefty fucking judge who's, this moron is so stupid. He's actually gone on social media and shit on Trump.
Yeah.
How's that look? Uh-huh. Yeah, he showed his disdain
First one out there.
for
I
him.
signed it personally.
I signed it. And yeah.
yeah, good job, Merritt. Thanks, buddy.
And not even Merrick Garland. I'm talking about the magistrate.
Oh, the actual one that signed
Yes.
it, yeah. But
So Merrick
Garland,
signed
yeah.
off on it,
Yeah.
knew about it. This magistrate signs off on this thing, but this magistrate is too dumb. He's been posting publicly, he's shitting on Trump for a while now. And it's like, you can't see how this looks like someone who should have
Only to
taken
you.
a knee on something
Only,
like this.
Only to you.
And-
it looks like
and it was
looks
so
like
urgent.
the exact right thing to do to a lot of people out there.
Oh, 100% it does.
Yeah.
100%. But it was so urgent, you had to get this warrant. You couldn't subpoena him like normal channels throughout 250 fucking years. No, we need it right now. Then we sat on it for 2.5 days before executing it.
So important.
So important.
He wasn't even there.
No, they did that on purpose knowing he wasn't there. But it's just, I don't know, man. And we'll be the first ones to say, we'll say it again. If you find some horrible thing that
We'll see.
he was trading secrets to China or Russia to hurt the USA, good, throw his ass in jail.
Yep.
I don't think you're going to find that, though.
Clearly not.
Really
He already would have been.
But you've opened up the door. I'm sorry. You've opened up the door for critiques when his lawyers aren't allowed to be present and you're rummaging through Melania Trump's fucking closet,
Yeah.
sniffing panties. You're there for 9.5 hours going through everything. Like,
I mean, if
what
you
a-
were going
what
to
a-
hide something, that's where I'd hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, if Trump wants to come out and go, they planted a bug in my house or they planted something to give me, like, there's no way you can't go, well, at this point, I wouldn't put anything past him,
Certainly would not.
right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy. I don't
Yeah.
want to be a conspiracy theorist, but how do you not look at that and go, his lawyers aren't allowed there. You do this fucking super raid thing. You're there for 9.5 hours, rummaging through whatever you want, saying you can take anything you want, and you've got 20 agents there. God knows what they're doing.
Yeah, we'll see.
Who knows?
See what comes out of this.
I guess
but probably nothing.
I guess they told him to shut the cameras off at Mar-a-Lago, and they were like, "Yeah, eat a dick," and they didn't shut them off.
Good. That's
So,
perfect.
Yeah, so I hope we get some good video of people.
I'm sure there's going to be at least some of
deep
it.
huff in Melania's panties.
I'm surprised that they haven't released at least some of that internal footage yet.
Yeah.
Just because it's theirs. It's proprietary. They can do whatever the fuck they want with it.
Right.
So I'm sure
It's on their property.
They didn't blast it all out just to, just to show them going
Yeah.
through all the shit, whatever.
Right.
Pick and choose what you're going to,
Sure.
one guy accidentally knocking over a vase or something. Like, see, look at these assholes are doing. Trash in the place. No respect. Hey, insurance. We all need it, and most of us don't know what kind of coverage we have or who even provides it. Let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasick from Wasick Insurance Services change all that. Brent has over 30 years in the business and offers all types of insurance coverage. So call Brent Wasick at 734-455-1900 and get a free, no-obligation quote today. Again, that's 734-455-1900.
FBI forensic report has reportedly concluded that the revolver that was used during the fatal shot of Helena Hutchinson on the set of the movie Rust.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so they're going through their stuff.
Yep, Mr. Baldwin.
Yeah.
The trigger man.
Yeah. They said that could not have been fired without pulling the trigger. After ballistics testing.
When he said, he kept saying he never pulled the trigger.
No, never did.
Yeah, never did.
The report comes in response to Baldwin shooting Hutchins on the movie set after he claims that he believes he was handling a firearm that was not loaded with live ammo.
Why wouldn't he just say he did anyway? I mean, wouldn't you just? I would.
If it was dead, you're allowed to pull the trigger.
Well,
right?
he's an actor. He rolls up. You would assume that 5 people.
But he was also the producer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And therein is a lot more responsibility than just being the actor. That's why. If he had no part of it, and he was just an actor.
Yeah. Then he could just say, "Look, of course I pulled the trigger.
He's the producer, right?
Okay.
The director, not the director, the producer.
Okay.
Right.
Producer,
So everything's under his umbrella.
Gotcha.
Because he killed the director. Yeah.
He tried to kill the director.
Sorry. Oh yeah, killed somebody else.
He
went
winged
through
the director.
went through the director and killed somebody else.
Yeah, or did it go through Helena and then Wing just clip the fucking director?
I don't know. Whatever happened. Got 2 with one fucking shot
Not
though.
bad. Not bad.
Right.
The FBI report says the Colt 45 revolver could not be made to fire without a pull of the trigger, while in a quarter cock position, half cock position, and fully cock position.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, there's it can go different ways.
So what if you quarter cock it? Does it just just dribble out the end of the cock tip?
No, I'm not sure what. I don't know what happens if you pull the trigger when it's cocked like that. I assume it still goes full trigger. I don't know what the point of the different things are, but I know that because you can take it from there and then pull it back and close it.
Pull it way back.
And then and then release it and close it so that it's not cocked from those positions.
Yeah.
But I don't understand what, and maybe those are just the terms. I don't know if know that it's.
I mean, I've got my.
Maybe they're like if they held it at a quarter and let it go, it didn't fire. If they pulled it halfway back and let it go, it didn't fire. If they pulled it all the way back, it may not lock until it's all the way back.
With my revolver, when I put the magazine in it,
they're going, "You fucking idiots!"
No, they're not. When I put the magazine in my revolver, I didn't even know that it would clip 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have to check that out next time I put a clip in there.
After you did that, too?
Yeah, obviously. I mean,
right? With the lever.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
good.
Yeah. But that's the only revolver I have. So
yeah, you got the extra big clip for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good. Yeah.
I probably shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
I think it holds 30.
Yeah. Right there. You go.
Extended mag.
One of those badass ones you can turn and flip over and stick back in there.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's how I am with my revolver.
Exactly.
So Baldwin said that he pulled the hammer as far back as I could without cocking it, and then he let go of the hammer and bang, the gun goes off. He said the trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't pull the trigger. I would never point a gun at anyone and pull the trigger at them.
Wait, isn't that what you're supposed to do in the movie?
Dude, that's where I was going to go with this. This has always confused me. Like, we've seen more shoot 'em up, fucking auto.
I mean, I guess maybe
rapid fire.
That's just the magic of video. He's not really pointing the gun in your face and pulling the trigger to shoot it. There's nobody when he does that and you're getting that video. There's nobody behind the gun when he's doing it.
Yeah, but we've seen people put guns to people's heads, and how many times have you seen like AR-15s and full auto, shoot them out scenes in warehouses.
Maybe they're not really pulling the trigger,
or they're blank. We've heard they're blanks or whatever, but it's like this idea that I would never point a gun at someone on set and pull the trigger. It's like, except in every movie we've ever seen.
Pretty much, yeah.
That happens. I don't know. Maybe we're missing like what's really going on here.
Well, I mean, clearly he's been telling the truth about everything else in this statement, so we should take that as at face value as well.
Yeah. And this guy,
So, I would never. I didn't pull the trigger. Obviously, I would never point that at somebody and shoot. Obviously, that's why you got 2 in 1 shot.
This guy is just such a client, and hate his politics all you want. This guy historically has been a giant piece of shit.
Basically, yes.
With his daughter.
Oh yeah.
Screaming at her on that message. He gets into fights randomly over parking spots with people in New York City.
Not forget the words with friends on the plane, refusing to turn his phone off. That was Baldwin, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Playing words with friends, made a whole shit show out of it.
Yeah.
Like, sir, you have to turn your phone off. Fuck you. I'm Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, I don't have to do shit.
Yeah.
So, do I want to go, oh, yeah, fuck him, he's, like other people would do if they didn't agree with you politically?
Yeah.
I have no interest
No,
in
I don't want
that.
him canceled. I just want him held accountable.
Right, but I don't know, I don't want to just go like, yeah, I believe that he shot someone and should be held responsible for that. If that's not, I don't want to sink him if it's not. If it's like, hey, man, I thought I had a cold weapon here. We've been on this set for months dealing with this stuff. Well, I don't want someone going down for that because I don't agree with him politically, I guess is my point.
Absolutely right.
Where it's so much easier to just be like, fuck that guy. Brittany Griner, same thing. I think she got, not what she deserved, but what was inevitably coming to her for that, whether it was an accident or not.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's certain rules you got to play by, and you break them, you roll the dice. Is what it is. I understand that. I fuck around all the time.
Yeah.
Good at stuff. I get away with it. But if I get caught, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to piss and moan, act like I don't deserve it.
Yeah.
I knew the risks. I did it.
Like, what are you talking about? Doing 90 on the freeway?
Whatever. That's, whatever. Yeah, all of it. But
would you like to elaborate on some of these wrongdoings?
I would like an
A
elaboration.
few follow-up questions would be nice, right?
Absolutely not. Whatever. Across the board. Just whatever. But like the gun thing is a different. That's weird because somebody's supposed to be in charge of that. There's supposed to be a chain of command. There's all that.
Yeah, but she was an idiot.
So
clearly,
what do
you do with that when you've got an idiot?
And ultimately, it is technically his responsibility. But he is, and if he were not acting and he was producing, maybe he could have been involved in that part of it. I don't know how it all works, but at first it was like, oh, he's the victim here. Like somebody gave this guy a fucking hot gun. Yeah. He's an actor. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's supposed to point it and shoot it in the movie. That's what he's supposed to do. And that's what he did. And, holy shit, there's a real bullet in there. The Crow. But, as you dig deeper, like you see all of the shortcomings throughout this whole process and you realize that, okay, well, it kind of was your responsibility all the way around. You had a moron doing this. You didn't double check it.
It just sounds like a cheap movie, cheap movie set with lower rent players behind the scenes.
When you're
like
producing,
this chick was young. She'd never been an armorer.
You're saving money everywhere you can.
I think her dad was an armorer, and it's like
cutting corners, as they say.
Corners. Yeah,
exactly.
That's
what happens.
So, the Washington Post published a fact-check article that quoted various firearm experts who expressed skepticism over Baldwin's claims. District Attorney of Santa Fe, Mary Carmack Altwee. Why do we keep doing these hyphenated? Can you just, whatever. Effectively said in a statement earlier this month that nothing was being ruled out in terms of what prosecutors could do. Once the first Judicial District Attorney's Office receives the completed investigation, we'll begin the screening process and any necessary follow-up investigation. To date, we have received portions of the Rust investigation from SFSO, but it is still waiting testing on the firearm itself, blah, blah, blah.
What is really taking so long on this? It's been like a year.
Yeah, I don't know.
If this is a real investigation, it shouldn't take this long. Ballistics on a gun, shit like that doesn't take that long. You take it in the lab and you go, had to pull the trigger. Why did it take a year to figure out that you would have had to have pulled the trigger for that gun to fire? You had it since that day.
Right.
Yeah. I'm surprised we ever heard anything about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You're surprised what?
That we actually heard anything about it.
Yeah.
That it didn't just go away, that the families aren't just paid, the movie just gets pitched, and that's it. It's over. And hopefully nobody ever speaks of it again.
Right.
T.
Yeah.
You and I started watching the Woodstock $8.99.
Oh, the new one, Trainwreck.
Trainwreck.
Yeah.
What did you? You got through almost all of it. I think you had 5 minutes to go or something.
Yeah,
You
whatever.
finally cashed out last night.
That's all right. I mean, I got the gist of it.
Yeah.
I got the.
Which you think it's a good watch?
I do think it's a good watch. I don't think that it was so night and day different than the HBO one.
Yeah.
They made it seem like it was so much more.
Right.
I don't know that there was that much difference between them. I thought the HBO one was pretty good too.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a good watch, especially if you didn't know it. Like, Hat was Skylar was watching it, my daughter.
Yeah.
And she had no idea, right?
Yeah.
Well, she was one. She was one.
Yeah,
so she had no
right.
idea like what had ever happened or any of that shit, So she was like, "Oh, Woodstock, like it's just." I'm like, "No, you don't know what happened."
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hold on. Watch this shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she didn't watch the whole thing, so whether she ever goes back and follows it, but for somebody like that doesn't even know about it, I knew what happened, and watching it was eye-opening to me.
Eye-opening.
Like, I knew that it turned into a shit show, but I
Yeah.
just didn't understand why and how.
I didn't realize, and I watched the whole thing like for 3 days.
Yeah.
I didn't realize promoters were dumb enough to have Korn go on in front of 250,000 people and then follow that up with Bush.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
who thought that was going to work?
Right.
You know what I mean? But stuff like that. There's a
Speaking
lot
of which,
of.
I'm seeing Bush tomorrow, by the way.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Who is she?
No, all mine shave. No, opening for Breaking Benjamin and Alice in Chains.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That's a trifecta right there.
Dude, I think of all the bands that I had to spin, like shit you've never heard of, alternative rock.
Yeah.
There was no bands I hated more than Bush and The Offspring.
Yeah, I'm
Like
right there with
those
that.
two
Yeah.
fucking bands specifically. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't fucking get into
I
it.
think there was like when I first heard Bush, I think there was one song that I was like, and whatever it is, like it doesn't.
it was so overplayed.
Yeah, exactly. And I heard that, I was like, oh, that's okay. And then it like immediately went to like, I fucking hate these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gavin's I'm sure he's a great guy.
Sure, most of
Ross
them are.
Dale, he's
Yeah.
got a good voice.
Talented,
He can
all of
play.
it. But
something about his voice, something about the lead singer of The Offspring, I just fucking, it is like knives
that's
in my ears.
and you're talking back to me. You gotta
Yeah.
keep him separate.
Right.
That's
Ugh.
Yeah.
Carson Daly was talking about it.
the new
I wonder, by the way,
documentary.
you mentioned Skylar watching it, and it made me think of something. Like, when I watch old footage, like before our time, whether it's Vietnam or Pearl Harbor, like the footage is so garbage.
Yeah.
And so grainy, black and white in a lot of cases. I'm just out. I can't do it. So Sky's at this generation where she gets to see in color, but it's not in HD.
Yeah.
It's still
Trying to figure out why
4x3.
like numbers on the screen, like
Right, from the videotape or
Yeah.
whatever.
from the camcorder.
But we're getting to a point now where anybody born, the footage they're going to see of historical stuff is all going to be fucking 4K. And so I wonder if that will make it more palatable for people like, oh, I wonder what
I think content matters. I think it,
well, obviously, but
If you're
still,
in-
when I see like grainy black and white video and you hear those voices, oh man, they're taking a first trip around the world on the Mayflower.
yeah,
those
because nobody gives a
clowns-
shit about that. But if it's something you're interested in, you can see through the grainy and the voices.
Yeah, for some stuff. But I wonder if it'll be like when it's like, oh yeah, I want to show you Woodstock 2023, and everything is filmed in you could watch that 40 years later.
Yeah. But
And if you like the bands, like we would
By
have
then
been
there'll
Led
be
Zeppelin.
newer stuff.
I was going to
and-
say, but it's probably all relative. So whatever that was at the time is still going to
No,
be
no,
shit
no. We're going to hit a
compared to
wall because the human eye can only handle so many
Well,
pixels.
but then it will
and
be
shit.
all in like you'll have goggles
It'll
on.
be
It'll be all
virtual, it'll be
surrounding.
holographic,
And you'll,
All right,
yeah.
you're ruining my theory, you
right?
piece
Like
of
what is
shit.
this? What is this? 2D? I'm fucking not watching this shit. in
Right. Why am I
2D?
not
Good
feeling like
Lord.
I'm literally there?
Where is the ceiling fucking videos, boys? What are we doing here? No, I get it, but I just mean that whatever level going forward, right now it's like so good
Yeah.
that it's like you could watch that in 60 years and it'll still be.
Unless
Well,
it's a
that was like,
bank robbery.
dude, when I went to the fucking tour of Madison Square Garden, they had a fucking legit 3D thing where we got to sit there and they gave us like 10 minutes of Billy Joel or some shit. It was like him. And it was like, dude, I was like sitting there full on like, holy shit! Like you felt like you were sitting on the stage and you could look around.
Look all around.
Like,
they do that.
Really?
They do it with like at games now, like NBA games. They're supposed like someone. At least they were testing it out.
Yeah.
Where they were filming it like from
Right.
the sideline right there, and you could like put your goggles on. And it was like you're sitting courtside watching the game, and you're watching the actual game. You know, it's not like a simulation.
Yeah, dude. I was fucking like I said,
Yeah.
sitting there on stage, like turned around, looking at the drummer and shit. I was like, oh fuck, man.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
So see, there you go. That's coming.
Yeah, that's true. Carson Daly says that Woodstock 99 was male toxicity at its finest.
Huh. Yeah.
It was more like going with the herd. This is the problem with protests that get out of hand.
Yeah.
Where
You get the mob mentality.
mob mentality is a real thing, and we saw that play out.
There was a guy that equated it on that video at the time, equated it to Lord of the Flies. And that I was like, yeah. He says it in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then does all of it. And then at the end, they show it again of him saying it. And you're like,
Yeah.
That's about
Sort of
it.
it.
That's what happened.
When you watched that, did you feel? Because I remember those days vividly, and going to those concerts and the male fucking the parking lot scene was like that, and fucking show me your tits. You know, you get that clown.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it wasn't us. We would never, show us your tits to a chick ever. We just weren't like that. But
I just had to look at him and they did.
Do you feel bad though? Like, maybe there was a point. Maybe these people have had a point about cisgendered white male fucking male toxicity kind of.
Well, listen,
It's on display at that.
That certainly was, and that is but that is just a shit show of errors across the board. I mean, when you get those kinds of bands, right, you're targeting that, right? That was like, just the whole frat boy, Kid Rock, Chili
Limp
Peppers,
Bizkit, Rage
Limp
Against the
Bizkit,
Machine.
Korn, Rage, everybody was there. You know what I mean? Like,
Metallica.
that was that angst music essentially of the time. So you're already going after that crowd, and then you want to mix in the Sheryl Crows and Willie Nelsons and Jules and things in there, which it's a festival, so you have to diversify.
I think they do that on purpose, like the US Festival back in '81. It was kind of Motley Crue's breakout. With "Shout at the Devil" wasn't out yet, but that they're playing in front of 250,000 people in Southern California. But it was like a 3 or 4 day event, and it was like Country Day, and then that third day was Heavy Metal Day, featuring Van Halen and Motley. And I think of these like that,
and that's
like,
better than just mixing them all
day,
in, because you put Motley Crue and then you bring out fucking
Jewel,
or some country shit. You know what I mean? People are gonna be like, "Fuck you, I don't want this." So
right.
at least if you separate them by days, you can kind of do that.
Yeah,
but to have it just
but they
all
were camping there.
Together.
It wasn't like I bought tickets to Country Day and then left. But you know what I mean? But it'd be interesting to look at the Woodstock 99 lineup, because I think a lot of that, like Sheryl Crow and Jewel, were huge, but they were playing in the day earlier.
Yeah.
You waited until fucking
they weren't the
8 o'clock at night
headliners.
for Korn.
Yeah, of course. But those are the big acts. That's how those things work. I mean, it was a huge lineup. I mean, it was an unbelievable festival as far as the people they got and the acts that they brought in.
Right.
But it was just a comedy of errors all the way across the board.
Security.
Between that, there was no security. The fact that they thought they were having the infrastructure in place by using this abandoned military base.
Yeah.
But it's all just concrete, tarmac. So I mean, it's hot as balls.
Seeing those kids trying to find shade anywhere they could, like 3 guys huddled up just
under a sign,
under a tree's shadow.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to find.
I guess there's 2 stages here.
Yeah,
there were multiple stages, exactly. But I mean, ICP, George Clinton, Buck Cherry, Umbilical Brothers. Yeah, I mean, like Hornsby, God, he's great live. Los Bogos too. Look at that, Mickey Hart and Planet Drum. See, that's a fucking love fest right there.
Right.
That's a good one. Yeah, but they're.
God, Collective Soul, I hated them too.
Godsmack, Megadeth, Ice Cube, Seven Dust. I mean those. So I mean they're your Offspring, Korn, and then Bush. Yeah.
So what is there? So does it look like it goes kind of easier? Well, Kid Rock played at 1:15.
Well, yeah. So there goes. I mean, there's Counting Crows, Dave Matthews, Alanis Morissette, and then flip the script into Limp Bizkit, Rage Against the Machine, and Metallica on Saturday.
Yeah.
But that's a great day. Tragically Hip, Kid Rock, Wyclef Jean, Counting Crows, Dave Matthews, Alanis Morissette, Limp Bizkit, Rage Against the Machine, and Metallica.
That's
a fucking sick lineup, and that's just one day there. I mean, that's an unbelievable lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is. But it wasn't. Yeah, there was. That was the time. But MTV See, MTV's guilty of that too, because MTV
Right.
was all they were promoting was sex at that time. It
Yeah.
was all that's just what they were doing. They had stopped with music. Really,
Was this pre Girls Gone Wild?
I don't know the year,
'Cause
but
it
I mean
was
it's the
around-
same. It's around the same time.
Because
It's around
these
the same
girls are
time,
willing,
yes.
like
Yeah.
whether they think it's empowering
Right.
or they're taking
and
something
there's a
back.
lot of that too. So I mean,
Tons of it though.
it's
It was
amazing
promoted.
how many girls were topless in that.
Yeah.
That's going to get a reaction.
But
from
it sounds
guys.
like in that rave room, and you can watch this again. It's called Trainwreck,
Yeah.
the Woodstock '99. It's on Netflix. It's a 3-part documentary.
Yeah.
But listening to some of those guys talk, they're like, yeah, there's a girl, in the rave room, hands on the wall, and a lineup of guys behind her.
Yeah, just waiting.
Like just
But
fucking training her or something. Like
probably.
one after
But
the
that's
other.
and I mean that sounds like she was just willing.
Yeah.
She was,
Oh, yeah.
She was into it. She's probably fucking rolling on E.
These
and
fuckers
just
too.
into it.
During Fat Boy Slim, they take a van, commandeer it, and drive it into the rave.
Just rolling through the crowd.
Just people are 30 people dancing on the top of the fucking truck. And when they got to the back of it and opened it up, they find a 14-year-old or 15-year-old
Some
girl,
young girl, whatever it was.
passed out, nude, her shirt over her titties, pants on
pants
her
off.
ankles, and some fucking grown-ass man zipping his pants up.
Yep,
And then
I'm done.
he just scurries off like a rat.
Yeah,
into the night.
never don't know who he was. He just got out, went into the crowd.
I
like,
have a question. Assuming this is a consensual train
Yeah.
that is getting run on somebody.
No
Let's
problem
say,
then.
Let's
Yeah.
say she's into the.
Consenting
No, I
adults.
get that. She's
she wasn't
into
like taped to the wall.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be an issue for me. But if there's a train getting run and there's a line, what
Yeah.
is like the time limit of how many pumps are you allowed?
I don't know if she's
You know
got
what
a
I mean?
10 pump minimum or maximum.
You know what I
I don't
mean?
know.
I don't know. You go until you blow. I think. I don't.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
think so? You think you're just sitting there?
Well,
and
if you're sitting there with whiskey dick or fucking
Well, I mean,
Molly
listen. I guess
dick.
if you overstay your welcome, the guy behind you is going to give you a little shoulder tap, like, "Hey, come on, bro, come on,
Yeah.
let's go."
I just wonder-
I've been fluffing for 15 minutes here, buddy.
Yeah.
Come on,
Dude,
I
give
got
me one more minute. I'm so close.
Shit-
I'm so close.
shit or get off the pot,
How many
dude.
times was that heard? I'm so close, dude. Give me one more minute.
Hold on.
You're fucking me up. Now I'm back. I need 5 minutes now.
Like imagine
Right.
you're fucking 5 and.
Can you imagine waiting like
Yo,
10
dude,
people deep in
let's-
line and then
right.
get up there and have stage fright?
Let's
Fucking have it go
fucking-
down on you? Like,
Fucking go! Kid Rock's coming on pretty soon.
No, all right, hold on. You go ahead. I got to get back.
God, I think that'd be the worst. But they're all. It sounds like they just had bags of Molly and stuff.
Yeah, it was. I
And
mean,
they're
it was
just
ecstasy.
passing
back
it
then,
out.
but
Ecstasy. Yeah.
It was. And that,
Have you
it
ever
was-
done X?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. Is it one of those where just touching anyone feels awesome?
It did. The
Is
first time I ever did it, I was with the girl I was dating at the time, and we tried it for the first time. We were just down in her basement, and we took it, and we were just sitting there, like, whatever, probably smoking weed and stuff too. And you feel anything? No. You feel anything? No. For like, I don't know. It's probably an hour by the time I went.
Yeah.
And then like
Take another one.
No. And then all of a sudden, like
Right.
we were just sitting there, and we just like realized like we were both like just kind of like touching each other, like that. And we were like, feel anything? I'm like, maybe. Like, yeah. And then it was on. But
Yeah.
But yes, there's definitely an
I
enhancement.
want to try it. I've
to
never done it. I've never done Molly or ecstasy.
I think Molly is a component
trust it
of
now, I get
X.
fentanyl pills,
Well, yeah, I think Molly was part of ecstasy, and now like Molly is supposedly like doesn't have all the other bullshit that ecstasy had in with it.
Gotcha.
This is
Yeah.
Molly's just the good part of it.
Yeah. Anyway, Carson Daly was talking about male toxicity at its finest. Thought he was going to die at the music festival. They did not like him.
No.
They did not like those MTV personalities, that
Nope.
crowd.
Absolutely not.
The TV host was among a group of young correspondents sent to cover the festival in upstate New York by MTV. So he said it was a disaster from the beginning. You were asking if anyone died.
Yeah.
3 people died.
I was going to say, I remember in the other one, they didn't make any comment of this in this one.
Yeah.
But in the other one, I remember because they talked about two guys that went down to go see Metallica or whatever it was. They got up front, and then one guy left, and his other buddy didn't make it out, and then he found out he died down there. or
Really?
something. Yeah.
It says there were multiple reports, obviously, of women being sexually assaulted. Yeah, let's see. It was I'm trying to find out where the people were because I took issue with one of the deaths. I was like, I don't know if I'd count that.
Yeah.
Let's see. 3 people died. David DeRoja, 24-year-old, who died of heat stroke after collapsing in the crowd.
I think that's the kid. I think that that died
From the
I said heart
Metallica
attack
one?
or whatever. Yeah, heat stroke, whatever it was. But
His mother filed a lawsuit against the organizers in 2001. It remains unresolved.
holy shit,
Yeah, 20 plus year
that's
lawsuit.
insane.
Tara Weaver, a 28-year-old woman, died at the festival after being hit by a car as she left the performance. So yeah, what is that? She's crossing the parking lot to leave, and someone hits her with a car.
Hit her, yeah, I mean,
That's the one I took. I think that's the one I sort of took.
hard to blame that on the festival.
Well,
Right,
that could
exactly.
No, to me, that could be how poorly the security was and how poorly, organized it was. Like if you have a real.
I mean, if you're walking out of Pine Knob and you're somebody pulls out and hits
You have to
as
see
you're
how it
walking
happened,
across.
though. My point is.
I know, but you're assuming that it did. I'm assuming that.
Yeah,
Right.
I was
mean,
with you.
Security's not out in the parking lot like watching how people drive.
No,
No,
Somebody wasted.
hold on. When you're attributing deaths to a concert,
Yeah,
it's like,
liable that they're responsible
or
for.
even counting the deaths. It's like, okay, if the crowd was so unruly and someone fell and got trampled to death,
Yeah.
that's a death
That
there.
counts, yep.
Someone has a heart attack because they're being crushed up at the front of the stage. That's, you go, yeah, that died at the festival. But walking across the parking lot to leave and gets hit by a car, it's like, okay,
but again,
I guess.
Still technically
sort
at
of.
the festival.
Yeah,
And
I'd
they
have
did
to-
die at the festival, yes. but-
I'd have to know the situation because I still think there could easily be, based on how terribly this was run, it could be like there wasn't, or, again, maybe not actually, like the DTE, dude, you know where the cars are supposed to be. It could have literally been people were just fucking driving
Very
anywhere.
possible.
So that's my
I don't know. It seems sort of organized from that
it
aspect.
started out being organized. It just didn't end that
Well,
way.
I mean, okay.
They want it in their peace, love, man, just hippie movement. This is Woodstock 69, 30 years later, man. In that whole thing, they didn't want people armed. They didn't want the police state presence.
Yep.
And so they just literally hired fucking 18-year-old tweakers off the street, gave them a yellow shirt, and were like, you're security. And they're
And
like,
$500
okay.
to be security
Yeah, yeah.
for the shit.
and so they're being interviewed at one point in this documentary. And they're like, hey, what are you here for? He's like, sex and, pussy and drugs.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're actually wearing the T-shirt that
Well,
says
and
you're
that-
Peace Patrol.
And that's kind of my point to the parking. I'm saying, like, this isn't like an organized situation.
Yeah.
So it could have been, like,
Isis, I told you all the relevant facts. You don't get to jump to your own conclusions.
I'm not jumping to any conclusions.
Tara Weaver was 28, died at the festival after being hit by a car as she left a performance. I don't know what that means, though.
Left her performance?
Left a performance.
Oh, okay. I was like, did she perform? Is she
So
still
what?
there?
So what? Does that mean she got hit in the festival grounds as she left the Kid Rock thing, and some security guy plowed
Which
into
is why
her?
I'm not making up
I was thinking
a backstory either. I'm just saying.
I would assume in the parking lot where she was leaving, or
I keep
But that's
picturing Pine
assuming.
Knob's back parking lot.
yeah, like that. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of how I.
Yeah,
I
just
think that's
equate it
assuming,
to.
though. That's assuming.
An unidentified. So were you. You're doing the same thing, dummy. You're assuming.
Well, then they're
too.
both equal.
Of an unidentified 44-year-old man also died. How is he?
Unidentified.
All these years later.
Still no accountability
Yeah.
on that.
At least 2 women were raped in the mosh pit at Woodstock 99, according to a volunteer who witnessed one assault and a rape counselor involved in assisting the victim in the other. In each incident, the woman was allegedly raped and assaulted by multiple men
Yeah.
as concert goers cheered her assailants on.
I believe it. Well, even some
Boy,
of the
that's
stuff that
bad.
we saw, it gets pretty cringy, because other girls, listen, I'm all for fucking free the nipple. I'm all for
Love it.
titties out. I
Yeah.
really am.
Yep.
But, guys just can't handle it. And you start drinking, and really, as you get deeper into this thing, it goes a lot deeper, too. I mean, it's not just drugs and alcohol. You start talking about, dehydration.
Yeah.
And the heat exhaustion
gouging.
and the things. I mean, not even just the physical, like they're not all right at that point. After 3 days
Yeah.
of that, I mean, it's like 3 days of war almost. In a way.
remember the chick that got fucked up mouth or whatever?
Oh yeah, from the drinking the dirty water.
Yeah.
Had like fucking
Like
monkey
instantly
pox in her fucking mouth,
Yeah,
whatever that was.
sores everywhere. She couldn't talk. Couldn't
Yeah,
breathe.
they found out the water was contaminated with feces.
Shit.
So like
Nice.
like the public drinking water that
Yeah,
people
yeah.
were supposed to be drinking, people getting. So it was just a shit show all the way around.
Yeah.
But it was. There was two people. The Michael Lang is the original promoter
Organizer.
from Woodstock.
Yeah.
And I had almost forgot about the 25-year anniversary, the 94 one
94.
that was a dud. And then they tried
It was
again
still
in 99.
pretty good. I still love Green Day set with the mud throwing.
But the and then there was another guy that he had brought in to be a partner on this thing. He was a big promoter, did Stones and some of the big stuff like that. Well, so when it came down to it, Michael Lang's just an old hippie guy that was trying to do the Woodstock thing for whatever reason, for better, for worse, for money, for not, I don't know. But he was totally out of the scene. So this other guy was the one that basically was putting all the bands together and had all the real music connections in the business. So he's the one that was choosing this lineup. And I mean, you can't really argue with it. But you
undeniable.
You set a tone there. You know what I mean? Like those bands are going to draw, and it's not like you just had a couple of them. Like top to bottom, you had all of them. You had all of them, and then you filled in with some softball Nerf shit in between there. But you had all of them. You had all the heavy players. So like you targeted that audience. You targeted the 18 to 25
Which I would argue,
male.
if you had the infrastructure there and the security, proper security and police units there, that would have been fine. It would have gone down in history as one of the greatest festivals ever.
It probably could have and should have. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's too bad.
But it's almost it's sort of two different things though. When you start talking about the male toxicity or whatever of it, the toxic masculinity. I separate that into two things in a way. I mean, I guess it's all part of one, but there's the whole, women part of that, of all the groping and all the assaults and all the shit that went on that side of it.
Yeah, the titty grabbing.
And then there's, trashing the place at the end. I see those as, I guess it's all still one, but I see those as different entities in a way. Both bad in their own right, but differently.
Yeah.
So
it was almost like two separate festivals.
So that being, creepy, that being violent. You know, I mean, not that the rape's not violent. But.
Well, it was just destruction. Rip down anything you can fucking rip down. Rip down all the plywood. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Throw it on top of the picnic tables and light it on fire.
Yeah. And then in the end, supposedly, what a part I didn't realize was that they had, so the Chili Peppers closed it out, was the final performance.
Yeah.
But they had been hyping that there was a special guest coming and another performance after that, and it was this big super secret
rumors galore.
Yeah,
Prince,
so everybody's
Michael
talking
Jackson.
like it was going to be the biggest of them all, and so Chili Peppers go out, and then that's it. Thanks, have a good night. Everybody's like, the fuck, and they gave them all. They passed out 100,000 candles for the Chili Pepper show.
Gotcha.
So they're all sitting there holding fucking flamethrowers in their hand, and then start lighting shit on fire. And then the Peppers, they were like, go out there and calm them down. The Chili Peppers went out and did fucking Hendrix Fire as an encore.
Let me stand next to your fire.
And it just went
ripped
fucking
it. Yeah. The funny thing is the other promoter or organizer that you're talking about that partnered with Michael Lang, and I can't recall his name.
I don't remember his name.
He's taking a lot of shit right now.
Yeah. He came out super douchey on that first one that I remember.
Plenty of them.
Yeah.
But he specifically came out and they're like, "Oh, what do you say about these rape allegations and blah blah blah?" And he's like, what was I supposed to do? Yeah. You've got 250,000 people there. That's a small city, and in any small city, you're probably going to have a couple rape incidents. People are like, "You fucking monster!" And it's like, in reality, though, what he's saying, like,
it's kind of real.
Did you see the crowd?
Yeah,
I fucking saw the crowd.
It's insane.
Insane. Yeah. I don't know how you would stop something like that.
You couldn't. But you definitely could have been more prepared on a lot of levels.
No doubt.
And
it's a miracle more people didn't die.
It actually
miracle.
is.
When
really.
you think about 100 degrees, tarmac,
just the
blazing sun, no fucking water.
And also, take into account that, so at midnight, when all these bands stopped,
right,
then the rave started.
Of course. Yeah,
and then would just go all night in the hangars in these raves.
Yeah.
So I mean, these people were just not sleeping, not eating. They couldn't afford the food for shit.
And
there wasn't water available. At
started at $4 and went up to $12 a bottle when it was like, we're almost out of water. We're the only stand that still has it.
You want it, $12.
Fucking crazy.
And you wonder why they trashed the place, because they were. I mean, that was
I don't even want to say they trashed the place because of that sort of thing. I think they just took advantage to fucking absolutely go ape shit. Security wasn't doing anything. I think those people. I don't think they were showing outrage. They were mad because of the conditions at Woodstock in Rome, New York.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I'm not going to act like that didn't play any part of it either. Just the frustrations.
It's mob mentality. Once the first guy fucking set one of those pallets on fire.
Yes, but you can't deny the fact that there was frustration over that.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I won't deny that,
that's
but-
underlying across the board. What actually set it off and what started it can be argued till the end of time.
Right.
But there's no way that wasn't a part of it, that didn't play a factor into it. The people that were just sick of
but
being...
there were people interviewed that were like, oh, yeah, these kids were so mistreated this whole week and they were mad, and that's why they... And it was like, no, those were opportunists. Those people were going to fucking, go off the deep end at any turn. That was just waiting for that spark to explode, and it finally did.
But what was that spark? There you go.
Who knows?
Exactly. That's my point.
I don't think it was because...
No,
well,
but that played
Who
into the
knows?
frustration of it, of course. I'm
Maybe
sure
on some
of
level.
just being pissed off that you
Yeah.
couldn't take a shower, that all the outhouses were fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
Nobody ever picked up
Then
trash. The place
leave.
was just
I would just leave. If it was like that for
Sure.
me, I'd be bitching about my $150 ticket that I didn't get to use at all, but I wouldn't have sat there in those conditions.
Well, I mean, you say that, but you're there, and these are all the bands that you're coming to see. You just showed Saturday's fucking lineup was
Yeah.
all time fucking great.
Yeah.
So you're
That
just
is
gonna walk.
amazing lineup.
I
on
know,
Saturday
and
night.
I mean, I didn't even really look at what Sunday was. I mean, I know Chili Peppers closed it, but I mean, it's-
Creed, Chili Peppers.
I mean, in the time, sure, but
Yeah.
So yeah, you're not. I mean, you can be mad, you can leave, and some people did.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's what I paid to come see. And you expect some level of. I mean,
Yeah.
these kids, they're not. I have a different opinion of it now, of course. Like
Yeah.
the disrespect of it. Like, oh, look at these conditions. I would never.
Yeah.
But
Back
at
then
the time,
we would have joined in.
But
I
they
know we
created that environment by having it be such a shit show, creating this Lord of the Flies environment.
Right.
That
Yeah.
just made it a fucking apocalyptic situation.
Yeah.
And it made everybody go primal.
Yeah, and they did.
That's what it did. That was the energy that it created.
Oh, having no sanitation.
Yeah.
The budget cuts and layoffs, and they were like, yeah, good luck. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
All
And
right,
that was they had
let's-
to make money, so that's where they started cutting.
Yep. All right, let's wrap this up.
Oh, yeah.
We've gone long. I actually feel a little bit better.
Oh, see?
I feel like
All
I'm
that
gonna
talk
die
has stretched out your thing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you have another read?
I do. That last part of the show was brought to you by Janet Davis Cleaners on Woodward in Berkeley. It's family owned since 1938, and they offer free pickup and delivery. And they use only the best environmentally cleaning methods, so it's guaranteed not to stink. It's a full service dry cleaners, casual clothes, and all that shit. So call Janet Davis Cleaners at 248-543-0340 or visit them at janetdaviscleaners.com. Mention TDC and get $20 off your first pickup.
Very good. Thank you, Janet Davis.
Heck yeah.
Who were we talking to?
Sky.
Sky.
She just went and did some dry cleaning.
Yeah, we're like,
why didn't
dude.
you use Janet Davis? She was like, what? They're going to pick it up and drop it off? I'm
Yeah.
like, and
She was
TDC,
genuinely shocked.
You get
Like,
$20
really?
off of that. Yeah, she was shook.
Tell him you're the fucking daughter of T-Roy?
Yeah.
Fucking, I'll take care of
See
you.
if we can swing another $5 off for you.
Hell yeah. All right, everybody. That hurt.
See,
that
there we
hurt.
go.
Pushing up on the chair. That wasn't good. Yeah. We'll be back tomorrow. Go a little bit earlier tomorrow.
Yeah, I was trying to go early because I got some shit to do.
Attaboy. Isis, are you coming tomorrow?
That will depend.
Okay.
Possibly. I might not.
We'll talk about it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Have a great rest of the day, everybody. We'll talk to you.